Ninth pick, Green Bay picks number 9, and I thought about this one. I know they're going to go defense. I know they need to because their offense is set, man. I mean, you go look up the numbers. Their offense was way too good for a 6-10 team, and I have them taking B.J. Raji, defensive tackle out of Boston College. I don't know what's up with Justin Harrell, but it doesn't look like he's going to pan out. I think they're pretty good at linebacker. I think they can live at cornerback, especially if they have a young guy or two that is better than we think. And I think they have some good safeties. It's the defensive line. And I know that the Packers are probably going to switch to a 3-4 defense, which I don't agree with. But B.J. Raji can apparently play 3-4 nose tackle, so that's going to be big. So, perfect pick. 49ers. This was another one I was confused on because I don't know which way they need to go. Because if you look at their roster, they actually don't look that bad. They do have just enough talent at most positions to say they don't really need to fill that. So I don't really think this is going to happen, but this is the best I can do right now. I have the Niners taking Mark Sanchez, the quarterback out of USC, because, you know, Alex Smith, I think that ship has kind of sailed. For whatever reason, I don't think the organization likes him much anymore. J.T. O'Sullivan closed the book on that one. Sean Hill, you know, he plays all right from time to time. He looks okay every now and then, but I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. So that's a hometown pick, guys. Mark Sanchez plays in California. The Niners play in California, so why not? Mark Sanchez. Buffalo picks 11th, and I had no idea where to go with this because I don't really know what they need. I know that they were a pretty average team last year. I think a lot of it had to do with coaching, so I don't think the players are the problem. So I just gave them the best available player because I don't really know what to do here. I gave them Aaron Curry, the outside linebacker out of Wake Forest, because I know they have Paul Posluszny, and they also have, who's that guy they signed from the Giants? Kavika Mitchell, and I think their other linebacker is Ellison or something. And, you know, that's all right, but Aaron Curry is one of the best players in this draft, and if he does fall as far as my mock has him, a team should be pleased to pick him up. So Aaron Curry goes to Buffalo. Excuse me. The 12th pick, Denver. I know they're going to go defense, so I looked through the defensive players and I settled on Peria Jerry, the defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. I think they actually are pretty good at defensive end. They do have guys they kind of like John Engelberger and Jarvis Moss. They also have Dumerville, who we know is very good. Their cornerbacks are not as good as they hoped, but I don't think they can just give up like that and spend high picks on the cornerbacks quite yet. And I think their safeties are pretty average. Their linebackers are decent, so I think the hole on this defense is a defensive tackle. So I have them reaching a little bit for Peria Jerry out of Ole Miss. Number 13, the Redskins. You know, their defense was great last year, and the amazing thing was they were amazing last year with no pass rush. All year they had no pass rush because Jason Taylor never did anything until the Philly game, the second Philly game in Week 16 or whatever. So they were really good last year, but they need to get better because you can't live like that. So I have them taking Brian Orakpo, the defensive end out of Texas. You know, Jason Taylor's pretty old, and I don't even know if he's going to be around next year because he's an injury concern at this point, and he didn't do anything last year. And they don't really have much of a presence on the defensive line. They don't have defensive tackles or defensive ends if Jason Taylor leaves. So Orakpo is the pick for Washington at 13, defensive end out of Texas. The Saints. I know they have a bunch of cornerbacks that they kind of like on the roster, like Usama Young, maybe even Aaron Glenn. He might retire, I don't know. They got some other guys too. I can't remember their names. They had a rookie who was playing pretty well until he went on injured reserve, but I can't remember their names. But I think they could use an upgraded cornerback because a lot of the guys that they have are solid, but you maybe don't want them as your number one cornerback. So I'm going to say Vontae Davis, the cornerback out of Illinois, goes to New Orleans. Add some depth there, maybe give them a number one cornerback, Vontae Davis. And then you have the Texans picking 16. Their offense, I think, is set. You don't know the names of some of these players, but they had one of the best offenses in the league last year. If they didn't have that carousel at quarterback, they could have made the playoffs so easy. I think people don't realize that. So, they've spent a lot of picks lately on defense, but I think they're going to go defense again. I don't think they're going to go defensive line because they got a good defensive line with Mario Williams and Amobi Okoye. Their secondary, I thought they might go, but I don't think they're going to go here because the guy they might have taken just got picked by the Saints. So I'm going to say they're going to give... Crap. What's the name of their middle linebacker? They have this really good middle linebacker, and I cannot remember his name. He's going to be entering his third year, I think. Let me look him up. I like this guy, too. I can't believe I can't remember his name. Hold on. Oh, D'Amico Ryans. Yeah, D'Amico Ryans. They have him, but their other starting linebackers are like Greenwood and Kevin Bentley, and that's not what you want. So I think they're going to give him some help and take Brian Cushing, outside linebacker out of the University of Southern California. So Texans take the outside linebacker out of USC, Brian Cushing. And the 16th pick and the last pick of this video is San Diego. I thought about this one. I think offensively they have to consider themselves set. They have a lot of talent offensively. Defensively, they lost one player last year and struggled big time, man. Everybody fell apart because they didn't have Sean Merriman. I thought about trying to find a replacement for Jamal Williams because he's like 36 now, but I couldn't find one. So I'm going to say they think about replacing Donnie Edwards, which is something they needed to do a while ago and never did. They're a little thin at inside linebacker. They had pretty good outside linebackers. I think they need to beef up inside. So I have them taking Ray Malugula, the inside linebacker out of Southern California. This guy's a monster, man. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's a monster. I know some people don't like him for some reason, but I think he's a beast. And I think whoever gets him is going to be very happy. So I got San Diego taking Ray, and I'll get to the second half of the draft in a minute here.